excuse me, can I get a motion to resume from public to
Motion.
the...
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, welcome to the October 17th meeting of the Eastchester Fire District. This is the annual budget meeting first, and then we'll have our regular business meeting afterwards. I would open the floor up to the public, since we are here to speak about the proposed budget.
I'll make a motion for a public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jamie, would you lead us off in the charge here? And then we'll turn it over to the public. So I'm actually out of order, I apologize, but
Sure.
I'm sure we'll all survive.
All right, so tonight, we're looking to approve the 2018 budget. We discussed it in detail at our September 11th meeting. Just as a recap, this is a 0% tax increase budget, so we've left it flat from last year. We were able to do that by definitely sharpening our pencils and looking at our expenses, because we do have some notable increases that we're expecting in 2018. However, given some of the surplus we had, we are planning on, using some of our excess funds from the previous years as we get into 2018, and we plan a lot of our apparatus purchases and our capital improvements. That's, the big things where obviously we're seeing increases in healthcare costs and the pension system, which I think now this year, we can expect year after year.
Right.
We have a salary increase per our CBA, and we've, so on some of our expenses, we've just gone through and kind of whittled down to what we think we really need. We've taken a lot of the cushion out of this budget, and it really is more streamlined to what we expect to spend. And that's about it.
Okay. I note that from your notes, and thanks, it's a great amount of work that you put into this, so I really appreciate it. I see that, and just for some comments, NISHIP estimates there's going to be an increase in healthcare costs of 9.6%.
That's right.
Okay, and we have no choice in that because that's part of, NISHIP's part of the CBA, and NISHIP does what NISHIP wants to do.
Yes.
Okay. And the New York State pension rates have decreased, so basically the state's not kicking in like they used to. Right? We have an obligation now to make that up as part of...
Well, the rates have decreased, which is good for us.
Yes.
But they've changed how they calculate it, so the base has gone up, so it, and because we did have, a multiplied increase this year.
Right.
Our base is going up by a bit.
And this budget's for 58 firefighter, in addition to all the buildings and equipment, it's pay and benefits for 58 firefighter positions, 3 of which are currently unfilled, 6 captain positions, 1 of which is currently unfilled, correct?
That's right, and so it's a total of 75 paid firefighters and officers.
Okay. All right, thank you. The public has the floor. Does anybody want to come up and comment on the... Okay, and make a motion, or...
Read the resolution.
Before you do, I would like to I forgot to do this.
Okay.
Just read into the record that our new secretary gave me, thank you very much, that we have published this as required by law in the paper of record, which is the Journal News, and it was done on, the run date started on October 1st, 2017, and we have the affidavit here and the legal notice, so we're good to go. Yes, Commissioner.
Okay, I'll read the resolution. Whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Eastchester Fire District must adopt a budget for 2018 and estimate of fund balances in preparation for the annual Fire District budget hearing, and did so in preparation for the budget hearing. And whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Eastchester Fire District held the annual Fire District budget hearing with notice to the public tonight, October 17th, 2017, and whereas the Board has considered the proposed budget and comments received on the proposed budget on October 17, 2017, and said budget hearing, and whereas the Board has determined that the financial needs of the Fire District and Fire Department for fiscal year 2018 can be supported by a budget that would comply with the real property tax cap established pursuant to Section 3-C of the General Municipal Law, as the proposed budget for 2018 calls for a real property tax levy that will not exceed the real property tax cap, permitting only a 0% increase in said levy. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Eastchester Board of Fire Commissioners hereby approves the final budget for the Eastchester Fire District for 2017, attached here and provided tonight, part of hereof in the amount of $16,864,725.75. So I'd like to make a motion to adopt
Second
it.
it.
Is that the, just real quick, that's the amount, that's not the, just make sure we're on the right line. So I got that and that.
2008. Is total, that's 16,895,720. Jamie, that's correct, right?
Just want to make sure, because we're moving on it.
Yeah,
Top line?
864. Yep.
Okay, so noted. So we have a proposal, you make that
Motion,
motion?
yep, Peter
Do we have a
second.
second? I'll call the board. Commissioner Laurie?
Aye.
Commissioner Raven?
Aye.
Commissioner Engeldown?
Aye.
And Commissioner Baker says aye. So budget passes. Thank you. And again, great work, Jamie. Thanks for keeping us straight and everything. And not at the, not to sound self-congratulatory, but I'd like to thank my fellow commissioners also for all the hard work and sharpening the pencils. A 0% tax increase is good. I mean, we got a lot more work to do, but, you know, so.
We may be out of order, but I should make a motion to close the public hearing.
Yes. It's, you know, it's stand-up night, you know, everybody advancing one. We have a motion to close the public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so, and then now we can close the budget meeting, because we've already adopted it, and go to the regular meeting. So can we get a motion to close the budget?
Motion to close the budget meeting.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion to call the regular meeting to order?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we met earlier and had the Pledge of Allegiance, and we went into executive session. So I will turn it over to our notable chief for his monthly report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Office of Chief, monthly report, September 2017. Total alarm activity is 282 alarms for the month, 11 fire, 150 EMS or rescue, and 2 mutual aids given. One was actually canceled en route, so one where they went to another municipality to provide mutual aid. I have signed the agreement that the board approved at last month's meeting with Lexipol on our policies and procedures. I'm scheduling time for the integration of the current policies, SOPs, and SOGs. At last month's meeting, the commissioners spoke of revising the red books. I ask you to hold off on that until I have a chance to begin the policy review with Lexipol, as my goal would be to eliminate the red books and have a comprehensive rules and regulation package from Lexipol. I've found 3 different versions of the Red Book: October 1999, June 1965, and April 1935.
Which one's going on eBay?
Probably all of them. But the 2 most recent ones, 65 and 99, say of the volunteer fire department. The ones from 1935 say of the fire department of the town of Eastchester.
Okay.
So that's why I think we need to consolidate, because they have different titles and may cover different people. So I'm working on that as we go. Vehicle and firehouse maintenance continues through the use of outside vendors. Commissioner's Laurie refrigerator was delivered and installed at Station 4, and the roofing project continues on schedule also at Station 4. We need to purchase mattresses for various firehouses, and I request permission to use the department credit card to purchase them. Each firehouse needs a few box springs and mattresses, so I request permission to spend up to $5,000 on the purchase and delivery of mattresses on my department-issued credit card. I believe the policy says I have to have purchases pre-approved, so I'm asking to spend up to $5,000.
This is for mattresses?
What's that? Mattresses and box springs. Yeah, I probably need 2 for each firehouse, so, you know.
Okay, let's, in the interest of speed, does anybody on the board have a problem with letting the chief do this?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
It's hard to get the mattress companies to do COD when they're going to 5 different firehouses, and we have to have checks pre-cut and stuff, so it's easier to order them on Amazon or through a credit card purchase, and that way we can have it paid for.
Do you have a vendor already set up who would?
We would look into it. Jamie and I go through, the different things, either Amazon or, even, any store that sells mattresses. It would be easy.
Okay.
So.
Well, I would say if we approve it at a certain limit for now, and then we have to increase the limit, then, we can do so
How much do you think you need?
potentially.
I said up to $5,000. I don't know that I'll hit that number, but, I think that would be a good number to,
That's
1 or
realistic?
2 in each
You
firehouse.
think that's a realistic number for what you need?
I think so
Without
for this
going to
year.
bid and all this other stuff?
Yep.
Okay, I make a motion to allow the chief to make that purchase up to 5,000.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Hey, unanimous.
Thank you, Commissioners. Fire prevention and code enforcement activities continue with numerous plan reviews. Captain Pinaval has advised me that the Eastchester Fire District has been awarded a $2,500 grant from FM Global Fire Prevention Grant Program. This amount will be enough to purchase the 2 iPads to run the Municity software on a mobile platform while conducting inspections. Captain Pinaval had applied for a grant of $3687 to purchase 3 iPads. We were trying to get one for myself also, so that I could have access to their inspections. But we got 2 out of 3, so that's not bad. So we were given a grant, so he's researching and he's going to purchase those. October is Fire Prevention Month. Captain Pinaval, Firefighter Vitarello, as well as all the members of the department have been busy with numerous fire prevention and fire safety demonstrations at the local schools this month. Another thing I would ask for the commissioners to consider is Westchester County Human Resources has scheduled a candidate physical ability tests, or a CPAT, for February 2018. CPAT orientations will be starting in December, and time trials will be held January 12th and 13th in 2018. Should the district plan on hiring anybody in the next 2 years, I advise that we send candidates to this test, because the results are valid for 2 years. So even if we're not going to hire somebody in 6 months, they only give the CPAT 2 or 3 times a year.
Right.
And the results are good for 2 years. So if we're going to plan on hiring in the next 2 years, I encourage you to send out letters, request a list, and then send out letters to candidates to take this, so that when we are ready to hire, they will
What's
already
the-
have the physical ability test completed.
What's the turnaround time on this? Because you're talking about it's coming up in February?
Well, they would have to start going to the orientations in December. It's, the first month is December orientations. I believe candidates can sign a waiver saying they don't want to go to orientation, but they do have to go to a practice test, and then they have the test actually in February. So, I believe they said Civil Service wants to know by early December at the latest if we're going to send anybody to the orientations and to the test. So I assume somebody could request a list of, candidates, and then normally I think you could send 4 or 5 people per position. So if we have 3 vacant positions, we could send 12 people potentially to the test. And it doesn't mean that you're going to hire them. It just means that they've passed the next step in the
I remember
hiring
when we
process.
hired the last class.
So I would say, in the next month or so to
But we can do this,
decide.
we could,
You can hold off till November, but
that's
probably
fine.
no later than that.
no later in November,
Yeah.
okay, we'll take that up in November.
Okay,
But so noted, thank you.
yep. I met with Dr. Flores again, our medical control physician. He has signed the 2 applications for the Westchester Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, Westchester REMAC, for us to begin our program of administering epinephrine and BLS intranasal naloxone program, which is the Narcan program. The next step is for us to submit those applications along with SOPs that we will have to write. Hopefully, Municity will have some of those, and we'll be able to submit those to Westchester REMAC. Once they have our application and we get approved, we can begin our training, and then that'll be the next step before we can implement the program. So it's moving along. I would love to be able to say we can just go out to the drugstore and buy these things, but there's a whole process because we're in emergency services, and we're going through the process, and it is moving along, and we are making progress. Also, the colder weather is rapidly approaching, And as heating systems come online, I urge all residents to make sure they have working smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors in their homes and businesses. Carbon monoxide is an odorless and colorless gas. Do not assume it is a false alarm if your carbon monoxide detector goes off. Each fire apparatus has 2 handheld carbon monoxide detectors, and the members receive training on how to use them. Any fuel-burning appliance in your home can generate CO. For example, your furnace, a gas hot water heater, a gas stove, a gas clothes dryer, or sometimes people leave a vehicle running in the garage to warm it up with the door shut, and the house will fill up with CO from the vehicle exhaust. So if the appliance malfunctions or it's not properly vented, CO can accumulate in the home or business. Should a CO detector go off, call the fire department and go outside your home. Wait till the fire department can come and check your home with our meters to make sure it is safe. Commissioner Winter, a few months ago, had recommended we could possibly do a promotional or award or commendation ceremony. He had mentioned October. Obviously, it's not getting done tonight. I would request that perhaps I can arrange it for December. Give me a month or two to, by then we'll have a few promotions made, hopefully.
So let's plan on that for December.
Okay, so maybe we could take, 20 minutes at the December meeting to have a ceremony beforehand or after
Whatever
recognize
it takes.
people that.
Last time we did it was a big success, and
Okay.
it's important that the men and the lady in the department
yep.
understand that their work is appreciated. And
Yep,
so
okay,
we'll
so
do it in
I'll
December.
arrange that for December. And
That's a Christmas bonus.
there you go. I want to thank the captains for helping me with various committees, apparatus, training, and numerous other things. I just want to thank them for their assistance. They've been extremely helpful. And finally, I will be away Thursday, November 16th through Monday, December 20th in Florida. I will not be in town. So just letting everybody know. The captains will be in charge. Whoever's working that day will be in charge of the department. And that is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Chief, I think it's a good report, but I just want to let everybody know, like you said, Commissioner Laurie's refrigerator. It's not Commissioner Laurie's
You
refrigerator.
proposed buying.
I just took the initiative to go out and get it for the department because.
Yes, it's the department's refrigerator.
It's the department's refrigerator, and quite a few people use it. So I don't want the public to think it's my refrigerator.
See you in the Journal News tomorrow.
You probably will be.
So noted.
Okay, thank you, Chief. The board met on, what day was it?
October 7th.
October 7th. I was not here because I was up at lovely Naval Station Newport, but I believe there's minutes.
Yes.
I'll turn it over to you, Commissioner Incledon, since you were there.
Really, no, it was a special meeting. Main purpose of the meeting was to kind of review a change order request on Chester Heights, which we did approve. That work is underway. There was some other minor issues, but I would make a motion to accept the minutes of this meeting.
I'll second it.
Call the board, Commissioner,
Aye.
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 and I abstained because I wasn't there. So, motion passes, and the minutes are approved. Thank you. All right, so we got the budget, we did that, a chief's report, the meeting, committee reports.
You want to do the motion for the generator first? or-
Oh, sure, absolutely. Hey, we have a motion to,
Yeah,
Generators.
we have 5 generators, one at each firehouse that provide backup power in the event we lose power. We have, in the past, signed service agreements in the most recent years with Power Performance Industries to maintain these generators over the course of the year. The agreement also entitles us to lower pricing for emergency repairs should they be needed. So we are looking to kind of renew this agreement. It would be a motion. The motion I will make is to renew the generator maintenance service agreement with Power Performance Industries, PPI, and authorize Chief Tween or his designee to execute the necessary agreement. Like I said, the contract has no increase in price over the prior year. It's for $2,754.17, again, to maintain 5 generators. Any other comment? Anybody want to say anything about it?
No? I'll second it.
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Okay, call the board. Commissioner Laurie?
Aye.
Commissioner England?
Aye.
Commissioner Raven?
Aye.
Commissioner Baker votes aye. So the motion passes.
Right.
All right, any other motions? No, we have this committee reports now, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm not going to go down like the list. You know what committees you're on if you want to give a report. I know you got a lot to say, yeah, in the interest of brevity. And for those scoring at home, I just got an update on my phone. The Yankees are up 6-4 in the bottom of the eighth, so with the bases loaded. But the Rangers are losing.
I don't really, Chester Heights continues to go along. The chief just mentioned it in his report. We did approve a change order to replace some windows and do some work on the dormers. We are going to have a little bit of a delay while the windows are manufactured, but for the most part, that project is almost complete. The contractor, Salvatore, is actually starting to clean up the site, and we think so far he's done a very good job. We're pleased with how it's gone, and we believe it's going to be completed ahead of schedule. So,
Right. Any other committees?
Well, budget and finance is good for this year. I'll have to say
Outs-
thanks.
Outstanding job.
Well, Jamie did about 99% of it, but thank you, Jamie, so much for working with all of us this year. I don't want to belabor all the stuff you already said, but it's a move in the right direction, and thank you so much. That's it.
I want to thank the local and the officers for coming out on Gold Star Mother's Day, which was September 30th, I think, or the last Sunday, I should say, of September. We had a nice ceremony in front of the train station, and we had 2 pieces of apparatus there, and it went well and seems to be getting bigger, and the community is liking it very much. Also, I forgot to mention last meeting that the Veterans of Foreign Wars Lieutenant Colonel Sam Dorenzo Post donated 6 POW flags. I handed them over to the chief, and he used them as discretion wears off, and he could put new ones up. And also, on September 22nd, I attended a dinner at the Fountainhead. If anybody's worried, I paid my own freight. It was to honor Reverend Maiello, that the police department honored him, and I guess few pictures were snapped, so if I'm in any pictures, you know where I am and what day it was and what it was for. And he's one of our chaplains for our department also. And that's all I got.
You got anything for the volunteers?
As of right now, no, I couldn't attend the last meeting. I had an emergency at my daughter's, so I couldn't attend, so I can't give you no report. I think Tom Vichy's here. If he has any report, he could give it.
Nothing? Okay. Update on the Article 78 proceeding. The court issued a ruling. It is a win for the department, but not a total win. Basically, the court reiterated the order to have the volunteers, and I'm using the generic group without breaking it all the way down, to turn over the records that they're ordered to. It also ordered them to pay $15,000 in legal fees. It did not hold them in, I'm sorry, it's she. The judge did not hold them in contempt because they said that the board did not show prejudice, which is necessary for the contempt part of the motion. However, if it was not complied with, she would revisit that at a future date if necessary. So that's the update on that. Work in progress. We'll keep moving it along. That's volunteers, housing apparatus. Is the union? No, thank you. Yes, it's, let's see, just got another update. They're the 9th. I'll turn it over to the public. Or, let me ask any commissioners. Any commissioner have anything that they want to add other than?
I just wanted to mention one thing.
Sure.
Before we do the bills. I wanted to thank the local 916, all the members, specifically Commissioner Laurie for their participation this year in the Columbus Day Parade. It was good to see all the firemen in one piece of apparatus, and Mr. Laurie driving the trolley with our veterans. It was enjoyable to see them at the parade and also during the carnival raising money for the union. So just thank you again for taking the time to be a part of the event.
All right. I forgot to add one thing that I mentioned in an earlier meeting. To clear up something that was in the newspaper and addressing the benevolent and this is not directed at any individual member of the board or anything like that, Mr. Levin held himself out to be treasurer of the benevolent. He cannot be treasurer of the benevolent because he is not a member of the department. The law that established the benevolent clearly delineates, and we've gone through this a million times, but it's 1940 and it was amended in 1942 as to who can be a member of the benevolent, and it has to be a person, an officer in the benevolent has to be a member of the volunteer department. He is not and never has been, therefore he cannot be. He needs to cease and desist holding himself out to be that. If the benevolent wants to hire him as a treasurer or wants to hire him as a lawyer, that's their business. However, he cannot hold himself out to be a treasurer or an officer or a member of the benevolent. And if he does not stop doing that, I will be forced as an officer of the court to go to the disciplinary committee and take it from there. So I needed to make that as a member of public record because I was advised by that as by counsel. So enough of that. Let's make a motion to pay the bills, and then we'll turn it over to the public. Does that sound like a plan? Yep. Okay, we have, geez, I gotta put my glasses on. It's great getting older. We have 2 warrants. The first warrant is for $191,992.50. And the second warrant is for, is it $294,028.53? And a $36 credit card bill? What are you doing with the credit card bill? Oh, okay. The mattresses, right, and a refrigerator.
Yeah, the refrigerator.
All right, so the total is $486,057.03.
Make motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, and now it's the long-awaited public. Does the public have anything, or anybody want to address the, seeing none, going once, going twice? Okay, do we have a motion to, well, when the next meeting will be, we have a time indeterminate because we have to address the upcoming election, which we're not really going to get into tonight, but.
Do you want to tell the public if there's a deadline, who's ever want to run for fire commissioner, would they have to submit their?
Yeah, what is the deadline? I know it's in November, but,
It's November what, 2nd, Lisa?
I think it's at the end of November.
I think it's at the end of November, it's after Thanksgiving, or,
No, I think it's before that. It's got to be 30 days before the election.
yeah, the election's the second week of December.
That's the 12th.
Petitions for candidates for office, November 22nd.
Thank you. So November 22nd is the last day to file a petition, thank you. And it's 25 signatures by
The 22nd.
the 22nd, and they have to be members, the signatures have to be people that are members of the department, members of the district, correct? You can go down to headquarters and get the paperwork and fill it out if you're interested.
Are those available now, Lisa? Okay.
You enjoying coming on board and getting hammered for the first meeting?
I did comment to the chief in executive session that you ladies have really cleaned that office up, and I want to tip my hat to you, both of you.
Yes, welcome aboard in your first meeting, so thanks for all the stuff you've done so far.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we will have we'll give notice of a meeting when we have one. We're going to probably have one between now and November, but we're still working out the dates for addressing the mechanics of the election and all the other stuff like that. So, I know, bated breath. Do I have a motion to close?
There's no public comments?
No, I asked the public, and again,
I'll
if
make a
they're,
motion to close.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And